both individually and collectively. So right off first kick, we get a look at Duke's freshman goalkeeper, Julian Eyestone, who has been the day one starter for the Blue Devils in place of Elliot Hamill, who was the ACC's goals against average leader between the posts for Duke a season ago. Notre Dame picks it up on the left wing with Ento. Has Rue and Russo in the box. Ento trying to play it in, but it's kicked out of there by Acito. Cameron Acito, the sophomore out of Manhattan, New York, whose father was a Duke grad in 1989. See some early action defensively. Duke coming in at 6-2-1, 2-2-0 in the ACC. Blue Devils are ranked 14th in the country and had lost back-to-back conference games to North Carolina and Clemson in the middle part of September, but bounced back in a big way with a 5-3 thrilling victory at home against Syracuse, the 7th-ranked team in the nation, last Friday. As Notre Dame sets up KK Bafour for essentially a corner kick here. Bafour swings it in. It's headed up and out, and now Notre Dame will have its first official corner kick. The Irish have been deadly on set pieces this season. It was something that Duke head coach John Kerr talked about limiting for the Irish. Notre Dame has scored 7 times on set pieces this season, allowing just 1 opponent goal on set pieces this year.
Notre Dame is such a big presence in the box set pieces, not just off the corners, but also off free kicks. You saw that in that game-winning goal that the Rue had against Clemson in the second half. Dangerous off and on the ball.
Patty Burns deflects it well up into the air. And now foul against Notre Dame will allow Duke to reestablish itself. Fighting Irish enter ranked 11th in the country, a 6-1-3 overall record. They're the only unbeaten team in conference play among the ACC's programs this season at 3-0-1. Flicked ahead by Ulfer Bjornsson, looking for Forster Ajago, but Notre Dame clears. Forster Ajago, big number 21. They call him the Bear, and he's been difficult to bear for opposing teams this season with 9 goals to lead the conference. Coming over from Dayton after 2 seasons there. Here he is, stepping onto it. Ajago fires away with the left foot, but it rises high above the top. And Brian Dowd will have his first goal kick.
So he's got a big frame for a guy, but also he's really, really fast. We saw in that transition ball there going up against Josh Ramsey in the center. It's going to be a matchup that they're going to have all night long. For Ramsey, it's going to be especially important going against Ajago, who loves those on-the-fly runs, just over-the-top balls that sit right in front of him.
Ajago is a native of Ghana, brought in to help replace Duke's top scorer from a season ago, Shakura Mohammed. He's done a heck of a job. Ajago had a hat trick back on August the 27th against Furman, and he is the only player in the ACC with 3 different multi-goal games this season. Ethan O'Brien intercepts for Notre Dame, and now Bafour has some space in the middle with Periano closing in. Ethan O'Brien, the graduate midfielder, his 4th game back from an injury for Notre Dame. Missed all of last season. Bafour winding through traffic. Patty Burns aggressively looking to advance up that left side from his fullback position.
Died. Something that Notre Dame's really needed.
Notre Dame switches the field. And Patty Burns, one touches it toward Ento. It comes loose for Rue, but he couldn't get much behind it, reaching out and smothering the ball, the keeper, Julian Eyestone. That is how quickly Notre Dame, and really both these teams for that matter, can generate an attack.
Something that's going to be especially important for Duke all night long is going to be that quick transition ball. They like to commit a lot of players up front, leaving the defense sometimes exposed, especially if Notre Dame can quickly counterattack. So Notre Dame gets that ball quickly and sends it up just like that. It's going to be trouble for Duke trying to defend against it.
And Notre Dame's game under Coach Riley is based more on composure and patience. Coach Riley talked about if the Irish get into an end-to-end type of game with action going both ways back and forth. That would potentially favor Duke, but as we see in the early minutes, Notre Dame, when the opportunity presents itself, especially with an aggressive defender like Patty Burns on that left side, will go for it and push the pace at times. Irish throwing as we're just over 5 minutes into this top 15 contest at Alumni Stadium. Irish working through Bryce Bonneau in the midfield. Number 13, the junior from Keller, Texas. Now Duke picks it away. And fouled from behind as he was attempting to make the pass. Ruben Masalis, junior from Sarasota, Florida. One of those many midfielders for Duke, looking to replace the production and leadership of Peter Stroud, who moved on to the MLS after last season. Duke a season ago was unbeaten in conference play, 5-0-3, 13-2-4 overall. Advanced, of course, to the national tournament. Won 2 games before eventually falling to Creighton in the Elite Eight.
Duke has continuously, under Coach John Kerr, has really just always had a good team, always competing in conference tournaments and in the NCAA tournament. And tonight, Coach Chad Riley, he knows what the type of team he's going up against with Coach Kerr at the helm. Every player is always playing for the pride of his school with that Duke logo, always wearing it with pride. It's just been a really tough matchup for him. Tonight's probably the biggest matchup of the season.
Wide open space on the outside here for Masalis. He'll deliver into the box. Ajago rising high. He deflected it. And no touch off the Irish after the fact. Ajago pleading his case, but this will be a Notre Dame goal kick. Forster Ajago stands at 6'2", one of the taller Blue Devils out there. And up front with his striking partner Olfer Bjornsson, who's 6'3". Duke can really generate a lot on those services and potential header opportunities.
As a defender, Ajago's just a monster to try and deal with that, just the size alone. His skills, though, are just almost unmatchable to have with that type of size and power and speed.
Masalis, again with room. Fires low and hard. Deflects outside the 18, where about 4 touches it on for Russo. And now Patty Burns has space. Irish looking to counter. About 4 against Cameron Kerr. He'll win a throw-in. Mentioned earlier how Duke received a test and passed it last weekend against Syracuse. Notre Dame has been challenged to a season-opening draw against Indiana and a scoreless draw about halfway through September against the Akron Zips, a top 5 team in the nation at that time. Notre Dame, 3 wins already in the ACC, 2 at home against Clemson and Virginia, and then most recently on Sunday, a 3-1 road victory over NC State, which saw Notre Dame fall behind late in the first half, but explode with 3 goals in the final 45. And now Notre Dame looking to explode into an attack right here with Russo. He goes low and hard, and it deflects off Eyestone. And there to clear it away, Amir Daly, as Ento was on the doorstep. And the Irish will have an opportunity for a long throw-in now, one of their specialties. And they'll go short.
Take a look at this replay here. Here's O'Brien. He just simply took that ball off of a simple mistake. Nice little line drive ball. Taking as much space as he could to get a really good, accurate shot. Something against Duke, something for Duke that they're going to have to really watch out for is making those simple mistakes, those turnovers. Notre Dame, I think, has really been able to capitalize and be efficient on a lot of the goals they've had so far this season. Though they may not score a lot, they are efficient with their shot selection.
So it was O'Brien with the shot on target. And now Duke works it back the other direction, seeking out Ajago again, but Genenbacher sends it away out to the near side. Masalis once more. Russo with a poke, forces it back to the Duke back line. And into the center for Antino Lopez, the senior from Las Vegas. Now Carmenacito warded off. Advantage played for Notre Dame. As it was initially Matthew Rue depossessing Acito. And now the Irish, who have been fast starting for most of this 2023 season, possess 10 minutes in. Notre Dame has scored the opening goal in 6 of its first 10 games, and when the Irish score first, on a 26-game unbeaten streak. Here's bat 4, spinning free from Amir Daly. Foot race here with help coming from Duke. Beno with an aggressive step, but he runs in to Kenan Hott. And the back and forth action continues. Advantage for Duke as bat 4 committed a foul. Notre Dame wins it back. A whistle from the official as O'Brien plays it wide for Patty Burns. Here's Ento, 1-against-1 with Lopez. Ento forced into the corner, and he's gone out of bounds with it.
See the physicality of this game so far. I mean, players with the balls are just getting either pushed off or tackled off. It's what's going to take is just that simple possession swing, and then in this midfield area, when players are kind of getting set on their offense, they have to switch back immediately to defense. That'll put them on the back foot for that offensive side that now gets that opportunity to take advantage. That could be a real game changer in who gets to get a ball into the back of the net.
Saw Lopez marking Ento there with the bright green captain's armband. This is Lopez's 3rd consecutive year as a captain for Duke. We talk so much about players having experience just in terms of being able to play the game, but to lead the way Lopez has for such a long period of time, a huge factor, especially in games like this, in terms of especially communicating with other members of your back line and midfield trying to defend a potent Notre Dame attack.
Not only that, but Duke's returning all four back line defenders into their lineup this year. So they get to have that continuity, that consistency, that chemistry that they had last season, especially with Lopez, who has such a brilliant touch as a defender. Really just stymie an attack and really just cut it off instantly with his movement and touch.
So here comes one of those set pieces for Notre Dame on the long throw-in. It's Genenbacher set to heave it into the box. Ferguson couldn't redirect it where he wanted to. Now O'Brien fires out of the air and drops it in perfectly. Unbelievable goal for Ethan O'Brien, and Notre Dame has the opener.
Wow. What an incredible goal by O'Brien. I mean, that is just talent and skill just all combined into the perfect moment. Just to set the tone for the rest of this game, going up 1-0 in the 13th minute. It's a great start for the Irish. Let's take a look at the replay here off the corner. O'Brien just sitting just outside the box. Just perfectly timed swing and momentum. Connects on the ball, gets right over Icestone. Giving the Irish the first goal of the game, drawing first blood.
O'Brien's 3rd collegiate goal is his first in almost 2 full calendar years. And in his 4th game back in 2023, he's on the board, and Notre Dame again has that opening goal. And again, it comes in the first 25 minutes. Now Notre Dame, in 7 of its first 11 matches this season, has scored the opening goal within the first 25 minutes. This one from O'Brien in the 13th. Burns looking to settle the ball, but Antino Lopez shields him away. We know this Duke team can take a gut punch early on. It happened last Friday night against Syracuse. The Orange scored just 3 minutes into the game, but by the time halftime rolled around, Duke had taken a 3-1 lead and eventually went on to win it 5-3.
Both these teams have had such wild games in this season so far. It's never, each game they've played has never told the same story. Talked about the game against Syracuse going down 1-0 in the first half, then all of a sudden scoring those 3 consecutive goals before halftime for Duke. For NC State, Notre Dame goes down 1-0 in the first half and comes back with 3 goals to answer for against NC State. So each team has kind of had to deal with some adversity and every situation so far this season. It's going to be interesting to see how Duke responds.
Oh, look at this. What a save by Dowd. It's still in there as Bjornsson redirected it right on time, and Dowd sprawled to make the stop. Unfortunately for Notre Dame, it was cleared, but again, it's Masalis who has been at the center of every Duke attack so far. But no chips at high. And Notre Dame can exhale for just a moment. What an early save there from Dowd to preserve the 1-0 advantage.
Dowd has been such a rock-solid protector of the net for the Irish. I mean, he's made so many incredible saves this season. He's just playing at such a high level, and Coach Riley was talking about him. He's already playing at a high level, and yet he still has been able to get even better, which is amazing for a player who has all this talent and skill already and is now able to do this on a consistent basis. The Irish, that's huge, especially going up against teams that are always going to be challenging them, and Duke tonight is going to be a big challenge.
So much to say about Brian Dowd making his 52nd career start tonight and answering the bell in the opening 15.
Nice little awareness there by Dowd, just keeping his eyes down on the ball, on the play, knowing who's coming into the box. Gotta admit, that Duke attack, I mean, just impeccable timing, just maybe a little bit behind the play to Bjornsson. I think that was from Masalis, but still, that's another strong attack. That won't end just there. We're gonna keep seeing that repeatedly.
Dowd leads the ACC in saves as well as save percentage. Made a career high 12 3 weeks ago at Akron. He's the only ACC goalkeeper with more than 10 saves in a game this year. Here's a Jago looking to set up Bjornsson once again, but the Irish clear away. Well, for Bjornsson, a product of Iceland, Duke has had several tremendous player contributions coming over from that nation over the past 5 years or so. You look at Bjornsson doing what he's doing. 3 goals, 7 points this season. We go all the way back to Olferson in 2021, their ACC Offensive Player of the Year, who put up 15 goals. We'll talk about it more later on. Both these teams have received tremendous international contributions this season. Duke especially from Iceland, Bjornsson's home nation. Look at Periano racing through off the second ball. Duke continues to apply the pressure, and now it's back for a low strike by Kenan Hott, but it's directly into the arms of Brian Dowd.
This Duke team is strong in all facets of their attack. It's not just this simple over-the-top ball and cross-in that Notre Dame's going to have to deal with. It's going to be shots outside the box. It's going to be corners. It's going to be set pieces. So Coach Riley talked about going up against this Duke team. This attack is just overall super good, as that hold there by Perino is going to cause a foul, and that's going to give Notre Dame a free possession on Duke's defensive side of the turf.
Warning there from the referee, Corbin May, as Periano with a clear grab of the jersey. The pace of this game has really stood out in the first 20 minutes. You better have your legs underneath you to open up this one, or someone's going to pass you by. There have been opportunities on both sides, left and right, and they have not been slow developing chances by any means.
Both these teams have come out with so much energy. And for Duke, I mean, they understand that they're going up against Notre Dame, who's just disciplined on defense. You see there, Perino just really getting aggressive.
On at stake tonight, like we talked about, not just that this is a matchup within the ACC's Coastal Division, as Ento, while falling to the ground, sent it behind bat 4. In the process, he did earn a free kick. The big 3 on the road tonight would get him that much closer. Wayne Frederick sends it out wide. Cameron Kerr spins away from Patty Burns, who retreats to his defensive position. And now the Blue Devils slow down the action for just a moment as we're inside the final 25 minutes of half number 1. Ethan O'Brien, the lone goal thus far. An all-world volley in the 13th minute. Good first touch from Frederick. And now Periano will send it out wide for Ruben Masalas. Nobody there at the top of the box, and now O'Brien will start Notre Dame back up the other way with KK by 4.
See how good Notre Dame is at just getting back on defense, getting 4 in the back, up in the line, just to stop the crossing balls from the forwards. And also the midfielders just being another layer, as we saw there, getting at the top of the box, just marking off anyone that wants to make a late streaking play. That interception now gives Duke a free chance now.
Russo the turnover. Here's Kenan Hott moving through the middle. Out of the outside it goes for Bjorson. Shadowed by Ramsey. Notre Dame center back playing out wide here. As Duke spreads out its strikers. Blue Devils right near the corner flag have a throw-in. It's a cool night here in South Bend, with the wind blowing from west to east about 10 miles an hour. That's from the near side of the field to the far side of the field, as you see it on your screen. Flag right there has been moving all night long. So we're down to 50 degrees at the moment here in South Bend.
First time in a while that it's been cold.
Yeah, you're right. Got plenty of rain in the days leading up to this match as well, but none expected here tonight. Skennebacher attempts to go long for Rue. Bryan flicks it over for Bafour, but it's well wide of him. Play settling down just a bit at the midway point of this first half. Shots for now are Duke 3, Notre Dame 2. Irish have put 2 on goal. Blue Devils have applied 1. Bjorson wrestled to the ground by Patty Burns. That'll draw a foul. As the physical start to this one continues between the Blue Devils and Fighting Irish. Bjorson has spent a lot of time in recent minutes out near that right touchline.
It's important for Notre Dame, especially when Duke slows down the pace, to not get complacent, not let up on their stellar D so far. It can be one thing when another team's playing at such a high tempo that you're always on the move, always ready for the next ball. It could be another thing when you're kind of just stagnant, waiting for the ball to come in. This is a big play right now for Duke. Gotta watch out for a Jago on the header.
Here it comes. Dowd punches it high up and out of the 18 with a lot of traffic in the area. And a foul call against Duke will allow Notre Dame to completely reset here. Just over 21 minutes remaining in the first half. Ryan Dowd has faced this Duke program 3 times in his career. Has won tonight, and it was a tough stop. Got 2 soccer balls out on the field for just a moment. And now Genenbacher's ready to resume play. Ento working amongst 3 Blue Devils, receives some help from Russo. And now finally it lands for Masalis. Duke attempts to switch the field, but now they'll have to go back up the middle. Bjorson with a well-directed header, but Ajago's first touch was a bit heavy. Clearance from Ramsey. And with 20 minutes to go, Duke gets set up for a deep throw-in. Masalis back from Periano, threading it through for Hott. Wayne Frederick, as you see Amir Daly, number 2, who loves to go forward from that right back position, does so. Cross coming in, and Ramsey flicks it high in the air. Bjorson looking for an angle. Periano shot knocked down. Still with Periano here. And out of the left side for Acito, and now Masalis. Masalis sizing up Genenbacher, going well beyond the back post. And this eludes Cameron Kerr and goes out for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame was able to just sit back with almost nine guys in the 9 white shirts in the box there against Duke. Duke just finding it really hard when the play slows down and Notre Dame's able to get numbers on defense. It's really tough just to find open lanes and just open space to work with. Masalis there just trying to really just find an opening to even either get a shot off or get that crossing, as we just saw. Might be something that Duke starts resorting to, is that outside shot ball.
Free kick for Burns as night falls on Alumni Stadium. Good crowd on hand, despite the fact that there's also Notre Dame's hockey season opener taking place just across the parking lot from here at Compton Family Ice Arena. Fans have bundled up and showed up here at Alumni Stadium for a top 15 clash. Burns throw-in goes beyond Ento. Play has really been confined to that far side of the pitch over the past 10 minutes or so. Haven't seen near as much activity from players like Ruben Masalis, who was extremely active in the early moments, generating opportunities with his service for Duke. Some indecision from the freshman keeper Eyestone. Now he'll go long with it.
He's committing a lot of numbers up right now just to create small pockets and triangles, just trying to quickly pass through. Notre Dame's midfield is really tough to do, especially the amount of players that Notre Dame loves to commit onto the defensive side and the midfield. Where he's quickly just capitalized on the mistake. Regain possession really quickly before on the ball.
Oh, he's so quick with it. Look at him turn away. Finally, Bafour has it chipped away. And now it settles for Periano. Bjorson trying to turn the corner, draws a foul. It was Bryce Bonneau looking to run with him and may have extended the arm a bit much.
Seen that so far with Notre Dame. They understand that they do not want the Duke players, once they receive the ball, to just turn up the field and use their speed to get into their final back line. They just know how potent, how effective, and how elusive those forwards are. When you commit that one midfielder with the ball, you have to commit someone on the defense to kind of pressure, and that starts opening up passing lanes, opening up space for your forwards and strikers to just kind of run onto. Just a really nice challenge there by Notre Dame to not allow Duke to get up the field really quickly.
Tino Lopez all the way forward for Bjorsen. Now a Jago. Bjorsen again. As a late whistle comes in, Jago committed the foul against Patty Burns. Forster Jago, one shot to this point. He's generated at least 3 shots in every game so far this season. Jago playing his 50th career game tonight. 23 career goals, 51 points. Player who was a second-team all-conference selection with the Dayton Flyers a season ago. Currently leading the ACC in shots, goals, and points. Here he is with the ball again. Pivoting free from Bonneau. And sprinting Acito on the left side. Periano shifts out wide.
I mean, he's just able to just capitalize off mistakes. In that Syracuse game and in the UNC game, he just had to intercept the ball quickly, make one step forward, and boom, he's in the back of the net.
Redirection from Bjorsen. No chance for Massalas to track it down. You talk about Ajago's ability to capitalize on those mistakes against Syracuse. It was just a little bit of laziness and indecision from the keeper. Jago basically took the ball away from him and had a wide open lane to the net. But that's what makes it so tough going against a team like Notre Dame. Dowd has over 50 games of experience, and the back line has played together for quite a while too. Several of them were a part of that College Cup run in 2021. So they know how to communicate with one another and execute properly to limit such mishaps. We know all too well Jago can generate plenty of opportunities by his own doing as well.
It's interesting to kind of compare both keepers on both sides. You have Brian Dowd getting in the twilight years of his career, but just has had a stellar career so far. Whereas Eyestone, he's just stepping in as a freshman, filling in for the keeper last year for Duke. He's just had a lot of that talent as a young player, just coming in and really just making an impact right away for Duke. Has a little bit of an experience, has made a couple of inexperienced mistakes, but that just comes with the territory of being a freshman, converting to that college soccer mentality and lifestyle.
It's freshman with an asterisk as well for Eyestone because he reclassified during his high school years from the class of 2024 to 2023. So as Coach Kerr told us earlier this week, he should be a senior in high school right now, but here he is playing on the big stage in one of college soccer's most potent conferences in a top 15 matchup under the lights in South Bend. It's a player who has plenty of upside, already showed tremendous promise in his time with the FC Dallas system, playing on their second team prior to his arrival in Durham. Genenbacher off the restart, seeks out Michael Rossi. As Notre Dame has made a couple substitutions. Sebastian Green, number 24, has entered as well. Matthew Radavoisa, number 8, into the fold himself too. Ramsey commits the foul against Bjorsen. For Bjorsen, a 6'3" freshman, who scored against Syracuse last Friday. One of those 5 Duke goals. The 5-goal outburst for the Blue Devils was their highest offensive output in the goal scoring category in 7 years. Got to go back to 2016 for the last time Duke had scored 5+.
He did that coming in off the bench for Duke against Syracuse, and that's big. Talked to Coach Riley about what consistency means in college soccer. It means to have a really good deep bench that can replace those starters and still keep the quality of play up. Notre Dame going up against Duke, it's just going to see who on those bench players Mentioned Green and Radavoisa coming in for them. It's going to be big. See how much of an impact they can make on this game.
Saw the sophomore Wayne Frederick, Washington, D.C. area native, on that lengthy run there. A bit of a chaotic run. I think he took the ball away from his own teammate Bjorsen at one point. Nearly made it all the way through to a scoring threat. Michael Rossi, 19 in white for Notre Dame, one of those 3 players that Coach Riley has developed more opportunities to deploy off the bench as really important depth pieces. Himself and Mo Williams more as depth pieces late in games, and then of course Ethan O'Brien, player you're rolling with right from the start given his experience and leadership and skill level, as we saw in his 13th minute goal. Rossi, big body player, 6'5", 225 pounds. Oh, Mo Williams, who has been in college for 6 years. Bjorsen, redirection, that's wide of the far post. And as we're inside the final 10 minutes, Notre Dame has another goal kick. Irish survived that opening flurry of chances from Duke as the Blue Devils were all systems go. Masalis running up that left side and swinging the ball into dangerous areas time and time again, but Notre Dame's back line cleared out, and Brian Dowd made the one big save when it was required of him just after that O'Brien goal. Now Duke has been forced to play more methodically in its attack.
So far Notre Dame's really settled in, really started to read a lot of the passes, a lot of the plays that Duke like to have on their offensive side, on their attacking direction. Especially on those over-the-top balls, when guys are looking up, you can kind of read where their eyes are going. Once they put their eyes down on the ball, you know that they're going to make the play. They're going to pass to where they're looking, or they're going to make that play up and over the top, and you can kind of read that as a defender, back up a little bit, make sure that you're on with your mark. So far, Notre Dame's just been able to absorb the pressure that Duke has put on so far.
Rue, Bafour, and Rossi pressuring this Duke back line, and now the pressure amounts to a turnover, with Bafour pulling it away from Daly. And now possession changes over. Irish throw-in coming for Patty Burns. And it comes for Rossi. Genenbacher, who had an assist Sunday at NC State. Rue stepping around, he'll have a lane, it pops up in the air, and Julian Eyestone's all over it.
Great job by Lopez just to stymie Rue, who had a really nice turn there.
Take another look at it. Matthew Rue, number 8 in the blue kit, has also entered for Duke in the midfield. He's on that right side. Bjorsen trying to find Hot, but right in the lane was Radavoisa. Sebastian Green to Rossi. Chipping it forward for Green, has Rue in the middle. Sebastian Green looking for KK Bafour. He had not arrived just yet. Now Patty Burns has a chance, and Eyestone denies him. Looked like Duke was going to be able to switch possession and clear it out, and all of a sudden, Patty Burns took the ball right back and nearly made it 2.
This is a great development for Notre Dame. As we see there, just a little bit of misplay. Patty Burns is standing at the top of the box. A little bit earlier in that run, Bafour's kind of made a run to the top of the box, and the pass just could have been there.
Bruce stops his feet, moves it to Bryce, but now back out to Burns, who had the game-winning goal on a penalty kick at NC State in that 3-1 victory. Four runs into a blue wall. And now down goes Daly by the efforts of Bafour, and it's a foul against Notre Dame.
Saw Daly there for Duke, number 2 on the defensive side. He's really been an offensive playmaker for them. He may not always be there on the score sheet to get that assist against Syracuse when he went screaming up the right side and just taking the ball into the corner. When you have defenders that can really be versatile, not just on the defensive side, but also on the offensive side, allows your forwards and midfielders to not have to worry about it. Let your defense kind of take the right wing and cross it in. You get more numbers into the box, be more potential threat, especially on crosses, balls over the top.
Genenbacher turns it over as Notre Dame look to counter. Drew Kerr goes down. Ajago against Genenbacher. Forster Ajago back for Masalis. He looks to cross, and now instead switches the field for Mir Daly. 3:45 to play in the opening half. Notre Dame leads by 1 on the goal in the 13th minute by Ethan O'Brien. His first in almost 2 years. Now a bending shot. That stray is well wide from Cameron Acito, who stepped into the attack. And another goal kick on the way for Notre Dame after Duke's 5th shot of the night.
For Blue Devils, number 25, Miguel Ramirez, and number 14, Cameron Fisher.
Important for Notre Dame on the defensive side
number
to
23, Keenan
not let
Huff,
up on their pressure, not
and
let up
number
on their
9,
energy,
Ofer Bjornsson.
especially with just over 3 minutes left to play. Think forward a little bit in time. Think those 3 minutes after, and think about halftime. And in that last minute, even though those last 30 seconds of play, a lot of things can change. And with Duke, they were able to score in those last 30 seconds of the first half against Syracuse.
Duke makes a couple changes. Miguel Ramirez as well as Cameron Fisher up front, number 14, the graduate. And Fisher is playing on the field where his sister Sophia plays her home games with the Notre Dame women's soccer team, which was in action Thursday night, defeating Boston College. Duke looking for one final push. We're about 43 minutes into this match in South Bend. There goes Fisher. Ramsey beats him to the ball. And now Bafour settles it down well in front of the benches. Irish win a throw-in. It'll be Burns to take it once again. Burns, the senior defender from Northern Ireland, starting his 64th career game tonight. One of the most experienced players you'll find in this conference. But no, made an aggressive run right there, but Duke fends him off. Now it's Rossi. Moving it to Sebastian Green. Green still on the move. He's tracked down and pulled down from behind. Green taking a moment to return to his feet, as with just over a minute to play, the official has elected not to stop the clock, and the Irish will set up for one final free kick before halftime.
Just a simple little tackle from behind there by Frederick, just really clipping him for the ref to make. This spot here really reminisces back to that Clemson game for the Irish, where they were tied at 2-2 in the second half. It's almost the exact same spot. This time it looks like it might be Patty Burns that might be taking it.
Yeah, it was Daniel Russo in that game you mentioned. Bafour takes it low and hard into the wall. And now 15 seconds to go. Irish have to hurry. Sebastian Green back to the penalty
10,
spot.
9, 8,
Cleared out by Acito.
6, 5,
Ferguson sends it toward goal.
2,
Ice Stone's right there. 45 minutes in the books at Alumni Stadium. And Notre Dame leads 1-0 on the 13th minute goal by Ethan O'Brien.
Not allowing Duke to get that early answer from Notre Dame's first goal.
O'Brien's goal, his first in almost 2 full years. As the Blue Devils restart trailing by a goal in this second half. And it's in the final 45 minutes where Duke has played its best soccer in 2023. More on that in a moment. But first, it's Wayne Frederick operating in the left corner. Ajago trying to settle in the 18. Some hesitation between him and Jorgensen. Now Amir Daly. Duke tries to start the half fast, as it did.
Goes to show the level of coaching Coach Kerr is able to make those adjustments to answer right back against opponents who go up that first goal.
This one squeaks through, and a shot blocked. Second try goes well over the top. As coming in from the back was Kenan Hott. Antino Lopez and Cameron Acito were in on the initial look, which fell by the wayside with traffic. And Duke generates a prime chance right away.
I think that kind of snuck through everyone. Was the Bjornsson just dummied it, went between his legs. And I think the Duke players, they were aware of it, but Notre Dame was definitely caught off guard. The small little tactics, small little trickery plays Duke's got up its sleeves. In the last game against Syracuse, Ariano on the free kick, just instead of trying to go over the wall on the free kick that was just outside the 18, instead go underneath them. He gets that goal for the Blue Devils to go up one more goal against Syracuse. So Duke's definitely got a bevy of tricks that may not be endless. Just got to see what more they have in the tool shed.
Yeah, we talked about Blue Devils' ability to really push in the second half and put the pressure on. You'd certainly expect them to create that bevy of opportunities in these final 45 minutes, but Notre Dame is equipped to handle it. Just 0.7, the goals against average this season for Notre Dame. That ranks 16th in America. The Irish have allowed multiple goals in a game just once. It was against Clemson on September 9th. Irish still won that game, though, 3-2.
One thing Duke really could capitalize on, especially here in the second half, is utilizing shots outside the box. They want to do their patent-pended crosses into the middle to Ajago, or just having a winger just come up the right side or the left side and cross the ball in, allowing for numbers to be in. But Notre Dame's so good at getting numbers back that just opens up that midfield space at the top of the box for Duke to use.
Ento, after tearing the ball away from Daly, receives a push from behind from Bull Jorgensen. And Notre Dame's got a free kick coming up just outside the left edge of the box. What work from Ento there. He willed that ball away from Amir Daly. And now just under 4 minutes in, Notre Dame has a set piece.
Just a nice little 1v1 battle. Jorgensen just coming in from behind and tackling Ento and stopping that 1v1. This is a really dangerous free kick now for Duke. It's so close to the box. It's also the angle too. It's a perfect ball to try and curl in to the right of that post or try and go for a back post play.
There's the right foot of O'Brien. That scored the opening goal in the 13th minute. Now here he comes again toward the back post, and Eyestone had to rise high and use all of his 6'6" frame to punch it out for a corner.
Even before this free kick gets off, you can see Eyestone just making swift glances back to the right corner. He knows that O'Brien's probably aiming there. Great job by him to just stay on his line. He was eye center on the ball and punched that one out.
The corner from Russo. Punched out again by Eyestone. And daring the play, a foul against Notre Dame. As Ferguson, after briefly pleading his case with the official, has to sprint back to his defensive position. Saw the work of Ento to set up those two chances off set pieces for Notre Dame. Ento has really turned his game on since ACC play began. He scored in 3 of Notre Dame's 4 conference matches coming into the night. And it was a great question you brought up in our conversation with Coach Riley Friday morning, that when you have a player and what has become an elite goal scorer like Matthew Rue, that can benefit other players in the attack like Ento so much.
Yeah, just having him set up those plays and just really be one of those big highlight presence. I mean, Matthew Rue is the leading goal scorer for the Irish. And while defenses are going to probably be looking at him, trying to be focusing on stopping him, it allows a lot more passing lanes, a lot of space for Ento to kind of operate in. And Ento is really good in that open space, just using his skills, using his 1v1 skills, as we saw him going up against Daly just a moment earlier. When you got 2 players like that who can really be just create a pincer attack against a Duke backline, it really causes a lot of problems, because you're trying to think, okay, do I mark the open space where Ento can't play, but then that allows you kind of create vulnerability on the over the top ball that Rue likes to capitalize off of.
Foul against Duke on the far side of the field. Patty Burns is calling for a switch of the field on the near side as Notre Dame starts back up. Jago looking to create havoc up front for the Blue Devils. The Irish move the ball over to Ramsey. Forward ball was disrupted for just a moment. And now Ethan O'Brien, who has 3 shots on goal tonight. Long ball up the right side. Russo tries to track it down. And he did, earning a deep throw in for Notre Dame. Certainly looked for a moment that ball might have had too much steam behind it, but Russo at the last possible moment got to it. And now here comes Genenbacher for that long Irish throw, which led to the only goal of the night so far. Once again, it's from that right side. O'Brien positioned well outside the box. Ferguson back out for Genenbacher. Good redirection and clearance from Lopez. Now Bonneau must reset with O'Brien. Bjorsen pumps it forward toward Jago. Now it's out for a Duke throw near midfield. Jago wanted to hustle with it, but instead he'll leave it behind for Masalis.
So far, this midfield has been the key part, the key area of conflict for both these sides. 65% of both teams' possession has entered in this midfield area, where it's either on one side or the other. For Notre Dame, they're winning it most of the time on those turnovers, on those interceptions, on just those misplays like Duke presents for them. For Duke, going up against Syracuse in their last game, as kind of Coach Kerr talked about, they played really well. It's just those soft mistakes, just those simple plays that Syracuse was able to capitalize off of, and just cleaning those up. Really just refining your game and making sure that you play clean and don't allow the other side to get those free takeaways. It's something for Duke, especially tonight, have to avoid if they want to keep possession and keep a steady attack on a Notre Dame defense and try and wear them out.
Kennan hot. Out wide for Masalis. To the middle, Periano zips to the outside and shoots it right into the stomach of Brian Dowd. Good creativity and improvisation from the Duke midfielder, but Dowd was ready.
plays in the midfield for Duke. Playing more of like an offensive midfield, more in the 10 slot. Just play a little bit more aggressive, and we see there, likes to really just take the ball into his own hands, his own feet, rather. Really have that playmaking ability.
Burns knocked down, advantage played for Notre Dame. Burns will have a further discussion with the head referee, Corbin May. Fouls tonight now, Duke 14, Notre Dame 6, a physical match as expected.
In the first 10 minutes of the second half, Duke's already committed 4 fouls. Talk about free takeaways. I mean, just those mistakes, just giving Notre Dame just easy opportunities just to claim possession. Not just in Duke territory, but also kind of deep in a really pivotal part of Duke territory.
On throw again. Emerges for Periano. Bonneau was in the way. Now Bonneau goes down to the box. And the whistle does not come, much to the chagrin of Notre Dame. Periano spins away with it. Genenbacher again. Russo offside. Irish controlling the first 12 minutes of this second half, keeping Duke on the ropes and unable to come back the other way, but now the Blue Devils will. Heavy touches though from Jorgensen. Notre Dame reclaims possession. Ento, as Daly stumbled. Ento running out of real estate, and he indeed carried it out.
Daly have been a matchup to watch, especially now since they're on the near side of the field. Ento trying to stretch the field and utilize every single blade of grass on this field, just can't quite keep possession in. That's been a wing spot that can be really vulnerable for Duke, especially on the transition, since Daly loves to play a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more, be a part of the offense more. Likes to get into that final third of the Irish. Really leaves the backside of him exposed to either over the top balls or runs in from Ento, and Ento's trying to take advantage of it.
And it's not just Ento too. Daly playing on that near side of the field has Patty Burns as well, and if Daly gets caught out of position trying to jump in on an attack, like you said, Burns is a player that is more than willing to take advantage of it. Daly is a player that Coach Kerr and Duke certainly trusts in terms of discipline. He's a captain this year. All ACC second teamer a season ago. Irish going long, Ento and Green on the chase. Now Rue intercepts to Russo. Irish working quickly. Russo on his left foot. Chips it wide for Burns. Can he track it down? Yes, he can. On one touch, it's in for Ento, who goes down. Players falling all over the ball. And now Duke sends it out to midfield. Chaotic sequences inside the Blue Devil 18-yard box.
Nice little development by Notre Dame up the right side. Burns just being cleared on the run there. Ooh, Daly there. Green could have gotten called, but we see a lot of contact in there. See players kind of fall. It's just a little tough to see when contact is being made and how contact is being made. Ref just keeping it a clean game so far. Not really calling much in the box as of thus far.
He's given these teams plenty of grace to use their physicality. No cards issued on either side.
Entering the pitch for the
It was
Blue
a
Devils,
Syracuse
number
red
6,
card in
Cameron
that
Kerr.
second half
Then
last
number
week
30,
that
Owen Jorgensen.
helped Duke get over the top and finish out that 5-3 victory last week. There was still nervous moments though for the Blue Devils, even though the Orange were playing with 10 men right after that red card. Syracuse got one back to make it 4-3, and Duke had to settle the matter down and put a goal right back into the back of the net to regain its 2-score advantage and close out the win.
Closing out games is key. A lot of the big teams, especially how Duke was playing in that game, they're playing, just dominating the play, really just taking over possession. Coach Curry just wants his team to play solid, be disciplined on that defense. Not allow the team to come back. It was just crucial for Periano, who got that free kick goal, as we saw in that halftime, as the goal of the week in week 8. Just going right underneath the wall. That's what just set up the ice on the cake for Duke to come out of that game with a 2-goal lead.
Into the final half hour at Alumni Stadium. Rue's got some space, seeking out Ento. Ento goes down. And now Russo on the perimeter. Goal kick coming for Duke. Blue Devils still having a hard time sustainably possessing the ball past midfield here in the second half. See if they can do it here. Jago trying to go outside for Cameron Kerr. Poor pass led him too far. Irish replace Enoento with Michael Rossi. 28.5 minutes remaining.
Michael Rossi, he's in for number 9, Enoento.
So they're on that free kick for Duke. Jago's the reception there, but as he turns up the field, you just see 4 white shirts in front of him. He's got another 2. Bonneau and Ethan O'Brien just coming back to defend him. He's only got 2 blue shirts in front of him to kind of play off of, so it's really important for this Duke midfield to kind of connect.
And a late card against Periano. This was not for the actual play he made, which led to the foul. It was for his reaction, and now he's clapping his hands in disgust. A yellow card against Nick Periano, who essentially slapped the top of his head in disgust. Not sure whether it was directed at the official or not, but the reaction was quick from the referee.
See Periano there just tugging on the jersey of O'Brien. Periano getting frustrated.
Again, a frustration card, not a booking for the jersey and shoulder tug that Periano got himself into. Now the clock frozen with 27:53 to go as the referee has a chat with Lopez and the Duke back line. Dowd's going to take this free kick.
We always had to deal with it before, but especially in this game, I really want to get that booking because of just how he loves to be really aggressive, especially when it comes to his defensive and trying to win back the balls. Is that over-aggression there? And Lopez will lead to an Irish free kick. Almost at the center, at the top of the box.
Lopez just hauling his man down from over the top on the 50-50 ball. Now the Irish have a chance to go for goal with O'Brien lining up alongside Russo. Notre Dame has Burns, Rue, Bonneau, and Rossi. That front right corner of the 18. 2-man wall for Duke. It's Russo chipping it high and nowhere near the goal frame.
Entering the pitch for the
That
Fighting
KK
Irish,
Bafour
number 16,
returns.
KK Bafour.
Sebastian
He's in for number
Green
24,
heads off.
Sebastian Green.
Green has played 35 minutes tonight, coming off the bench. Duke goes quickly with it. Ajago against Ramsey in the corner. Ramsey, a perfect slide tackle. And now Ajago takes him down. And the Irish win the ball back. Ramsey gets some congratulatory bumps from his mates on the back line as the physical battle continues. Not a ton of space at all tonight for Forster Ajago up front.
It's the 18th foul of the game for Duke. Their game against Syracuse, they had 19. Game against Charleston against 19. Even in their game against UNC, they had 22 fouls. So they're really aggressive on both sides of the ball, as we see, especially if the ball's not in the defensive half, they're still going to try and make those plays. So Bafford going up to Patty Burns.
And Burns sent it off the netting in front of the indoor football practice facility as he again tried to hustle across, turning around the ball, but it bounced high in the air and Burns couldn't execute the way he wanted. And now Duke looks for another counter. With the ball finding Bjorsen. Masalis wide open on the outside. Notre Dame has a player down. It's Ramsey as the ball comes in. Bjorsen a second chance and a sliding recovery from Notre Dame. Two players are down. It's Ramsey outside the box. He's at his knees now. Bjorsen just returned to his feet. Another chaotic sequence. I believe it was Genenbacher that made the sliding play. The ball sat free for Bjorsen's taking off the rebound.
So those ricochet balls that can be really deadly, those second opportunities for teams to capitalize off of. Nice job by Genenbacher to leave it out.
Duke goes short with the corner. Periano to Masalis. Header was there for Frederick, but he was flat-footed, and as a result sent it well over the bar.
Take a look at this development here. Masalis just getting a nice strike way outside the box off the left foot. Ferguson getting in the way of Bjorsen. After Dowd made that great save from Masalis' shot.
Great look there. You could see that Bjorsen had already made contact with the ball and had sent it toward the gaping goal frame. But at the right time, Mitch Ferguson comes in and saves the day.
Just before that replay was a really nice development by Duke. Ajago kind of played it to Bjorsen, and Bjorsen just kind of turned and kicked it out wide to the left without even looking. And Masalis was already coming up the left side of the field. As here comes a really good transition opportunity.
Some aggression from Duke. Russo looked for Rossi. And now a defensive recovery from Lopez. Bjorsen joins him all the way back in that left corner. But no, another interception. Heavy first touch from Rue, but he still got it. And a foul against KK Bafford as Amir Daly was sent down to the ground just outside the 18.
Opportunities for both sides so far, especially on those transition plays. See what Ajago has to offer.
Beg your pardon, foul went against Rue there. So he looked to regain possession of the ball after losing it at first. Now it's Bafford. Kerr chasing from behind. Masalis in the area as well. Bafford so quick and shifty with the ball at his feet. Now it's O'Brien out to the right side for Russo. But no, again, played it off his own man, O'Brien. Nothing doing up the right side as Russo had not started his run. Comes all the way back for Eyestone, past the midway point of the second half. Notre Dame 1, Duke nothing on the 13th minute goal by Ethan O'Brien. His first of the season, first in almost 2 years. Keeper to keeper it goes for Brian Dowd. Duke has 10 shots, Notre Dame 6. Irish have put 4 on goal. Duke has put a pair on target. As we've talked about all night long, a physical Coastal Division match. 18 fouls for the Blue Devils and 7 for the Irish. Angling run for Russo, who cuts back, gets to his left foot and sends it just past the left post. Oh, what a look for Daniel Russo.
Substitution for the Blue Devils, number 8.
Nice play there by Russo.
Number 9, over Bjorson.
Nice run, too, to just get past Acito.
Substitution for the Fighting Irish.
Just cutting it open, getting enough space, enough time to just plant his foot and drive it. Just barely missing. Eystone doing a nice job, just really forcing him to try and fit it through that tiny window. It's another near miss opportunity for the Irish, and this really keeps Duke in the play, because if that goal goes in, you're down 2-0 with 20 minutes left. Momentum swings heavily in Notre Dame's favor.
Salas gets it right back. Green nearly intercepted. And now this one just over the touchline and out. 20 minutes remaining between Duke and Notre Dame. Irish trying to strengthen their stranglehold on not just the Coastal Division, but the entire Atlantic Coast Conference as of right now. Notre Dame atop the league with 10 points. And Duke trying to break out of a whole lot of traffic in the middle part of the Coastal Division with 6 points. A draw would move them into a 3-way tie for 3rd place. A win moves them to outright 2nd place, a point behind Notre Dame. All the way back it goes for Eystone, the freshman keeper who has stopped 3 shots tonight. There was a yellow card against Duke during that stoppage moments ago. Now Rue has space. Matthew Rue onto his right foot, playing it through the legs of Lopez, but he couldn't quite hook up with Burns, who came well forward on that attack. Ramsey going over the top, commits a foul.
Yeah, the yellow card was against Coach Kerr on the Duke sideline. He's had a couple run-ins with the referee already with UNC. Had a yellow card, then also got the red card, sent him off against in the UNC game when he played.
And there may be another card coming right here. Indeed, it is a booking against Miguel Ramirez, the senior, Lawrenceville, Georgia native, who has come off the bench tonight. Undercut Bryce Bonneau right near midfield. And it is a 3rd yellow card against Duke.
Really dangerous play there by Ramirez. Putting Bryce Bonneau in a dangerous situation. Had a good look there.
Ferguson's restart forces a Notre Dame throw in deep in Duke's end of the pitch. Again, it's Genenbacher setting up for a delivery into the 18-yard box. Clock beginning to become a factor for Duke. 18 minutes to go now as O'Brien attempts another volley. Got on top of the ball, and finally Duke earns a free kick.
This is a game very physical, especially on Duke's end. There's a lot of free fouls being made. Allows them to, typically we see a lot of smart fouls if a team looks like they have a clear breakaway. Doing it to try to get your defense back and get your defense set for the oncoming attack. All these plays allow Notre Dame to also kind of just get free possession. It's 18 fouls against Duke still.
Four somehow still has the ball. Down goes Green. And Notre Dame, just outside the box, is going to have quite the set piece opportunity with 17 minutes to go. Right away, it's Ethan O'Brien standing over the ball. From just about 20 yards away, maybe a bit more. The Irish have a chance to add a second. Ruben Masalis committed the foul. Green, Bafour, and O'Brien all surrounding it. About 4 steps away. It'll be Green over the top of the wall and over the bar as well as he tried to pinpoint that upper right corner.
Entering the pitch for the Blue Devils, number 23.
Just by Eyestone to get that wall set up. And the wall being disciplined, not allowing that below the foot opportunity to be presented to either O'Brien or Green. It's a nice little post, a little bit too heavy to get over to just go over the top of the crossbar. So the Irish have really just dominated possession so far in the second half. Duke with a couple of really good opportunities to get a goal on the board. Possession has gone all the Irish so far.
Duke substitution, Kenan Hott for Cameron Kerr in the midfield. Irish look to play it forward. And now Duke switches the field beyond the slide of Green. And now space for Frederick. Wayne Frederick against Burns. He earns a corner kick. Check that, it was Genenbacher on the defense for Notre Dame. 15 and a half minutes to play. Duke's third corner kick coming up from the far side.
Taking a kick, number 10.
A missed sliding tackle there by Green just allowed Frederick to just take up all the green space in front of him.
Genenbacher heads it out. But for how long? Periano swings it right back in. Settles for KK Bafour. He's got to make a move with it. He leaves for O'Brien. O'Brien threads the needle for Ento. Ento stepping to the outside. He fires low. And there to make the save, Julian Eyestone.
This is where Notre Dame has been critical. I mean, what a pass there by O'Brien. Feeding it through 2 lines of defense. In step, and here comes Duke.
This time it's Jorgensen. Blue Devils working the right side. Ramirez turns away with it, leaving for Amir Daly. Irish have just about everyone back and ready to defend right here. As Duke seeks out that opening. Masalis didn't get much pace behind that pass.
Look at that pass. It's really quick right through the Duke defense. Ento really getting a really nice shot off, even though he's at the top corner of the box. It's a really tough shot to hit while you go run full speed. Trying to get that target in the back left corner, but Ento, he was really on target there as Eyestone really had to dive for that save and really just block it off.
Ento came into the night leading Notre Dame with 23 shots. That was his 24th. Now it's O'Brien stepping in front of a pass from Periano. Duke recovers possession. Ramirez. Bafour picks it off. Oh, look at that spin move. Sending Jorgensen to the ground. Crowd loves it. KK Bafour continues to work his magic tonight. And now a Duke throw incoming. Foul against Kenan Hott. Precious seconds continue to tick away for the Blue Devils, approaching the 12-minute remaining mark as the young fans sitting in the front row, prime real estate here at Alumni Stadium, getting in on the action here. This is quite the match to come to if you're a young soccer fan, seeing two of the best, not only in the ACC, but in the country come together.
Yeah, what better way to learn, especially since they're part of the Youth Irish program here. Just get to learn from the home team, really get to see patterns from all sides of the ball. Really get to see different styles and techniques being utilized. Ethan O'Brien just showing textbook technique of how to really shoot a really clean ball in that first goal in the 13th minute.
And that shot, that goal, still the difference maker. Nearly 70 minutes later, here's Ajago, his best chance of the night. Ramsey and Genenbacher slow him down just enough, and there's the clearance beyond midfield as Duke sent it in over the top, and Ajago just couldn't quite create space and control.
Ramsey there just misread the ball a little bit. It was just one step too high. Ajago just having the height over him, able to settle it. But this is what makes Notre Dame's defense so good, is that even though one person gets beat, they have another player aware. That's the key thing, is that their other players' awareness is so big. They're always keeping their head up, making the play. The defense coming in clutch after Ramsey just kind of made that little misstep, not allowing Ajago to get another foothold into this game.
Out wide it goes, kept in play by Frederick. Navigating Genenbacher in green. Now Genenbacher picks it up. Slides to push it forward. Periano. Duke picking up the pace. Ajago settles it and bounds it into the box and into the arms of Brian Dowd.
Notre Dame has committed a lot of numbers back as of the recent minutes. Not really committing a full attack on the Duke side. Just allowed, this is kind of a pattern that we've seen from Notre Dame so far, especially in these waning minutes of games. They put a lot more numbers, put more emphasis on the defensive side of the ball. As energy and emotions kind of pick up for the other team, who's probably desperate for a goal, especially with 10 minutes left. Try and cover for open runs and open plays that might be available through their defense. But also gives the other team, as for tonight's Duke, a lot more opportunities, a lot more chances to take possession, really build through their offense. It's kind of like a chess match where, for Notre Dame, they have a lot of numbers back and they communicate really well. They're always aware, always keeping their head up. Whereas for Duke, they're trying to just build their offense and really just try and see what openings happen.
Russo loses his man Lopez. Tried to play it through Green, didn't quite work out. Duke coming back the other way. You see Mo Williams, number 14, who's checked in for the first time on that Irish back line. Again, so much experience for him at the college level, and adds size as well with a 6'2", 190-pound frame. Alongside Genenbacher, Ramsey, Ferguson, and Burns. Here is Burns, locating Russo. Back to O'Brien, just over 8 minutes to play. It's still O'Brien. Beautiful back heel there from Russo. Clips it to Green. Burns rejected by Jorgensen, the freshman helping back defensively. Inside the final 8 moments now. Green sends it in low. Cleared out there by Hott. Burns again, a high arcer. Bafour can't track it down. And now it's Wayne Frederick speeding up the left wing. Frederick for Bjornsson. And Notre Dame with Genenbacher there to take it right away. Irish looking to remain unbeaten against Duke at Alumni Stadium. Notre Dame is 6-0-2 in program history against the Blue Devils here. This is the 18th meeting all time between the two sides. Notre Dame 10-5-2 in those matches. Masalas. Back for Kenan Hott. Daly now with Burns watching. Hott once again against Green. Hott got it toward the back post, but well beyond Bjornsson. And now it's Frederick right at the feet of Genenbacher. And let this one trickle to Bafour. Duke substitutes right next to that corner flag, screaming that the ball was out. Now it's Daly with 6:20 to go. 3 white jerseys in the area. Deflects off the backside of Bonneau. Periano settled it down, but right to Bafour. Bjornsson wins the ball back. It's Frederick against Genenbacher. Frederick trying to beat him to the spot. Both players go down, and now it's out for a corner kick. And Notre Dame is up in arms about it.
This play's been going on for almost 2 minutes since Duke got that ball with Daly on the first attempt of the cross. Let's take a look at this development here in the box. Genenbacher getting pulled down. He's challenging Bjornsson.
Oh, what a stop by down, and the rebound try went wide as it was Ajago again. My goodness, how quick did that develop? The first look right into the eyes of Dowd, and he punches it back. And Ajago's second chance, again, not quite there.
There's Acito against Dowd. Dowd is doing a really good job just tracking it. A lot of times keepers can get lost, and then all of a sudden the ball's coming right at you, but Dowd just being so disciplined with his eyes. And then that second shot off, Ajabo just missing wide right, and again another near miss off the, just past the post for Duke.
Looking for Ajago again, it's beyond him and beyond the end line. 4.5 minutes to go. Forster Ajago, for as many goals he has scored in his collegiate career, there are just as many that he can't quite come up with for any player, and even a player of his caliber. And I'm sure he'll be thinking about that one on the ride back home to Durham. One of the best opportunities of the night inside the final 5 minutes. Now inside the final 4, Notre Dame has the throw in. It's beginning to look bleak here for Duke.
Well, the biggest development of the night for Duke, especially as we enter these final minutes. Kind of saw in the first part of this half, Notre Dame's just dominating possession the whole time. And come that 20-minute mark, as we get down to 15 and 10, Notre Dame starting to commit more numbers back as we take the half line. Typically we would see Notre Dame maybe commit one player to the striker, in this case Ajago. Instead now there's 2 guys in the back, making sure that Notre Dame's always got a numbers advantage. On the defensive side it looks good. On the offensive side you just can't put too many numbers forward. Stay as aggressive and put a lot of pressure on the opposing back line.
Clock stoppage with 2:53 to go as Notre Dame has a man down. That's O'Brien. receive some attention. Now quickly back to his feet. An exhausting game here in South Bend. Duke has had 2 more days of rest than the Irish coming in. See Chad Riley just trying to get this thing to the finish line and keep his side unbeaten in conference play. Give him a chance to take a 5-point lead in the Coastal Division with a win. Duke's not ready to go out just yet. Hot sends it in the 18. It's flicked on for Masalis, playing on the right side now. Masalis going all the way to the back post. Mo Williams rises high. Hot once again, goes down. And it looked like it was just outside the 18-yard box. And this is the moment right here for Duke with 2 minutes to go.
The ref has not stopped the clock, which means as the stoppage in play keeps running, the clock will keep running. For Duke, you need as many chances as possible. As you can see, there's more and more numbers being committed, especially on these runs and either on set pieces or during the play.
2 players there for Duke. Periano, who scored on the free kick last week, and Ruben Masalis.
See Matthew Rue there lying just behind the wall there, not allowing that sneaky play that we saw from Perino earlier against Syracuse.
That's a great point. He went underneath the wall in that goal last week. We showed it to you in the top 5 goals of the week segment during halftime. Now the clock is stopped with 1:43 to go. There's a great look at Rue. Lying prone at the feet of his teammates. All right, here it comes. Periano, saved by Brian Dowd as it went over the top. He may not have gotten a piece of that at all. Duke claims he does, but it's a goal kick being awarded.
Ooh, I don't know.
Was it Dowd or the bar? Either way, it stayed out.
Looks like he might have gotten a hand on it, but the ref calls it as he sees it. Duke's coming right back with all this energy at the final moments.
1 minute remaining in the game.
Mo Williams tracks it down as Hot played it into the 18. Throw in coming for Duke. Daly rushing it. Periano to the back post. Bjorsson's there, and he sends it wide. And the Irish have another goal kick. 40 seconds to go. You see Jorgensen setting the ball down right there. Duke doing everything it can to force Notre Dame to play quickly right here. The time is really ticking down. 25 seconds. Ten seconds to go. One last push, but the ball's going the wrong way for Duke. Ajago working against Burns. Time will run out. The Irish, as Ajago goes after Burns at the end, he goes down with Rossi coming in, and this could get ugly. Fortunately, nothing else has happened yet at the level of what we saw initially to start the fiasco. But everybody's getting involved. A bench clearing situation here at the end between Notre Dame and Duke. Burns, a physical, energetic player, got wrapped up with Ajago at the end of it. Both teams separate, and the Irish pick up their biggest victory of the season.
Just a lot of the physicality and emotions running high in this game. High-ranking game, and Ajago just taking a swipe there. After Burns held on to him. Irish are able to claim this victory after a hard-fought